Losing weight doesn't need to be hard, but I know a lot of people really struggle with it. So today I'm going to teach you 10 pretty cool ways that you can reprogram your brain to reduce your hunger so that you eat less and lose weight faster. But I'm not going to cover the basics that I expect you've heard before. We've all heard that if we get more sleep or eat more protein and fiber or manage our stress, whatever that means, that losing weight is going to be easier. And yes, those things are all going to do you a great deal of good. But we've heard them all before. Today, I want to teach you something new. The hacks that I'm going to give you are designed to trick your brain. And the coolest part is that you can start using them right now. So in no particular order, let's get straight into it. The very first way that we're going to hack your brain involves the cutlery and the crockery that you're going to use to eat your food. If you use smaller plates, bowls, and cutlery, your portion is going to look larger, and that's going to help you to eat less whilst feeling satiated, whilst feeling full. So you can fill your plate, but just choose a smaller one. Using smaller cutlery, as crazy as it might sound, is going to help you to eat slower. One of the biggest problems that people have is that they're shoveling food in their mouth and their brain and their stomach don't have enough time to communicate. So they're actually full far before they even realize it. And if you want a really sneaky hack on this, then I'd recommend that you use blue plates. For some reason, we don't really know exactly why, some studies have found that the color blue helps to suppress your appetite. So that's number one. Number two is to eat slower and more thoroughly. Taking your time to eat allows your brain to register that you're full before you've eaten too much. Chewing more thoroughly is even being shown to aid digestion. And because you're chewing more thoroughly, it's going to take you longer to eat your food. The other thing that I would say on this point is to try to focus on your food whilst you're eating it. And what I mean by that is that most people these days, and I'll put my hand up and say that I am guilty of this too, won't just be eating when they're eating. They'll be watching something on their laptop or their phone, or they'll be scrolling social media. Obviously, I'm not saying if you're eating out with friends or eating with your family that you should all be sitting there in silence, but trying to focus more on the fact that you're actually eating and being more conscious and present is going to help you to feel fuller faster. And the faster that you feel fuller, the less that you're going to eat. Next up might sound like common sense to some people, but to other people who are dieting and trying to lose weight, is gonna sound like blasphemy. But that is to avoid skipping meals. And very simply put, that's because if you're skipping meals, you're gonna be thinking about food more because you're going to feel hungry. And the more that you think about food before you're actually ready to eat it, not only are you more likely to make terrible food choices, but you're also more likely to overeat, to binge. So I'd recommend that you eat more portions, but make them smaller. Number 4 is to add spice to your meal. And that's because spicy food has been shown to help you to feel full faster. And it might even increase your metabolism very slightly. Being completely honest, the jury is still out on that one about the metabolism, but you will notice that if you eat a spicier meal than you're used to, I'm not saying it has to be super spicy. If you don't eat any spice whatsoever, just adding a little bit, it is going to help you to feel full faster. Number 5 is to chew sugar-free gum. Chewing gum, putting something in your mouth that is essentially 0 calories, not only does it keep your mouth busy, but it helps you to reduce cravings for high sugar, high-fat, hyper-palatable snacks that are so easy to overdo it on. Number 6 is all about your oral hygiene. Scientific studies and research has found that if you brush your teeth immediately after each meal, it sends signals to your brain that mealtime is over. The clean, fresh feeling in your mouth is going to reduce the cravings for more food. It's essentially resetting your palate. There's also studies that have found that using minty toothpaste and mouthwash can help suppress your appetite. And that's because most people find that minty flavors don't pair well with most foods. So that's going to deter you from snacking between meals, which is one of the main reasons that a lot of people struggle to lose weight. Number 7 is to stay hydrated. People don't appreciate or even realize just how sensitive our brain and our body is to dehydration. But if you get just 1 to 2% dehydrated, your brain is very sensitive to that and it notices. And what it does, it starts to shut down non-essential processes in your body. What that looks like is that you're going to become more lethargic. Essentially, you're going to become lazier. And if you're lazier, you're going to have less drive. If you've got less drive, you're far less likely to get up, to go out, and to do stuff. And the less you're doing, the less calories you're going to burn. And the less calories that you're burning, the harder that you're going to find it to lose weight. Not only that, but when you drink a lot of water, it physically fills your stomach. And that's very important because what this does is it stretches the walls of your stomach. And when the walls of your stomach are stretched, it sends signals to your brain that you are full. That's exactly the same reason why eating a high protein diet and getting plenty of fiber in is so beneficial when it comes to weight loss. Number 8 is to track your food. I'll be honest, this one puts a lot of people off the whole process because they think it's going to be time consuming or difficult or even socially awkward. But the two things I want to say about tracking food, one is that it's not a life sentence. You aren't going to have to do it for that long. If you're diligent with it, you can track your food for just 6 to 8 weeks and you're never going to have to do it again for the rest of your life. It helps you to build an incredible level of self-awareness around what you're eating, but not just what you're eating, also the quality of the food that you're eating, the nutritional value of it. The second big benefit of tracking your food, and one that's probably more relevant to this video, is that it takes the emotion out of what you're eating. We all have a very emotional relationship with food. You know what it's like. Sometimes you'll eat something that you haven't had for 5 or even 10 years, or maybe even since your childhood, and it will transport you back to that time. Whether we like it or not, we've eaten food from the day we were born and we'll keep eating it until the day that we die. But tracking it, seeing letters and numbers on your phone screen, takes all the emotion out of it, because a lot of the emotion in food is tied with the smell, with the taste, with the packaging. But when you're looking at what you've eaten on your phone screen and you just see the name of the product and how many calories it has, there's no emotion there. And when there's less emotion, that means there's going to be more logic. And when you've got more logic, you're going to make more rational decisions. You're going to feel more in control. Hack number 9 is to clean up your environment. Imagine you had a friend and they came to you and admitted that they were an alcoholic. What's the very first thing that you'd recommend that they do? You'd recommend that they pour all the booze, all the alcohol that they've got in their house down the sink. Well, exactly the same applies to you if you're trying to lose weight and struggle. Go through your cupboards, go through your fridge, go through your freezer. Throw out anything that you know isn't good for you and is high in calories. Any high sugar, high fat snacks, get them out of your house. And if you don't want to throw them away, then go and give them to a food bank. And hack number 10, which may actually be my favorite, is to avoid supermarkets. And you might be thinking, how the heck am I going to do that, Doug? Well, it's very simple. Do your food shop online. I appreciate this might not be available to 100% of the people watching this, but if you live in basically any Western country, whether it's the UK, the US, Australia, France, Italy, Spain, or wherever else it might be, there will be at least one supermarket in your region that allows you to get your food delivered to your door. And this is very important because supermarkets are set up and designed, it's their sole purpose to sell you more food than you need. They are a business, they are trying to make money, and they make money by selling more food. And they are very sneaky with how they do this. First of all, if you think about it, supermarkets, they're normally pretty stressful. They're loud, they're bright, there's normally lots of kids running around screaming, and let's be honest, you normally do your food shop when you're hungry. All of these things are setting you up to fail. It's like sensory overload. And they're doing it on purpose because they want you to make emotional decisions and not logical ones. Next time you go to the supermarket, just look out for these things. Notice that the first thing that you see, or more importantly, smell in a supermarket is some kind of baked good or pastry or something sweet. That is not by accident. They're doing this to lure you in. It's exactly the same reason why restaurants will give you free bread before you've even ordered your food, because they've done the studies and they found that the people who eat the free bread will order more food. And the supermarkets have figured this out too. They send your senses into overdrive. All the logic and rationale that you went in that supermarket with goes out the window. And then it just gets worse and worse as you go deeper into the heart of darkness. Look at the food that is positioned at your eye line. It is almost exclusively terrible for you. And look at what they've got on offer for you while you're at the checkouts waiting to pay. Yep, it's the high sugar, high fat sweets and treats. So I implore you, do yourself a favor and avoid these places. Doing your food shop online is amazing for so many reasons. First and foremost, the food is delivered to your door at a time of your choosing. So the first big benefit is that it's incredibly convenient. Secondly, you'll probably find that it's also cheaper. As much as these supermarket and grocery chains make money from you going into them, it also costs them a lot to run them. So they are always going to want a proportion of their customers to be shopping online. You want to be part of that proportion, and you'll find that they reward you for that by giving you the best offers, and the cheapest prices. So benefit number 2 is you're going to save money. So you're saving time, you're saving money, it's more convenient, and it's easier because what you'll also find is that these supermarket websites enable you to save what you've purchased before. And we are all creatures of habit. You will find that you eat the same 5 to 10 things every week or every couple of weeks. So once you've done your food shop online once or twice, it's very, very easy because it's literally just a case of click, 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 pay, done. But more importantly than that, what I love about doing my food shop online is that it subconsciously forces you to be a little bit proactive with planning your meals. And if you've got a plan, if you've got a routine, you're holding yourself accountable. And if you're holding yourself accountable, you're far more likely to achieve your goal. It also removes all the emotion, all the sensory overdrive that you get from going to the supermarket. So that's hack number 10. That's the video. I really hope you've enjoyed it. But more importantly, I hope you found it useful. If you have, I would absolutely love it if you could show your support by smashing the thumbs up button to like the video. Drop a comment, let me know which of these hacks you think is the best one for you. And of course, subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss my next video. Until then, bye.